Are you somebody that likes to save the nice tags that you get off of some of your new clothes? Hi, my name is Bibi, and I'm going to be showing you how I create a art tag from a old clothing tag. If you don't have one of these, that's totally fine. Just use some sturdy paper and that will do the trick. Oftentimes when I'm starting something, I like to put down some paint or collage in the background to get me going. But this is such a small surface that we're working on, and I love the texture of this black tag. It's almost a little like soft. It's obviously not suede, but you know how that has that kind of soft feeling to it? This is like a really nice quality paper tag here. And so I want to keep some of that. I don't want to cover it completely up. So starting with my China marker there and creating some loose abstract type circles in the background was perfect because we created some interest, but we're not covering everything up. Next up, I am going to come in with some different layers of collage paper. I'm paying attention to having different textures and consistencies. This one is a different transparency where it's a tissue paper, and so you can kind of get some of that black coming up from the bottom. So it's not just completely covered that area. Yes, we covered it, but you still get an essence of what's going on underneath it. The great part about starting with those circles that I had drawn in the beginning, rather than adding them at this stage, which would have been fine as well. But now you can see that it carries on underneath of what we already worked on. And you can try to do that purposefully later on, but I find it feels a lot more organic when I can add it underneath stuff and on top, you know, kind of change up the order that we do things. Really stuck, and our work can feel stale, at least to us, when we're always doing things in the exact same order. I love trying to think and kind of trick my mind into how can we change up the order that we do things. So there's still techniques that we love using, but by changing the order, you can get totally different results. So here I am coming in with some paint, but again, I didn't want to cover everything up, and I do realize that we are covering a lot of this up, but I still love the deep black that's happening in the background. So that was just a gesso wash, which is regular gesso, and I just added some water in it. And I had leftover, so I'm just keeping it in that container, which keeps it nice and fresh. I don't feel like I have to use it all in one sitting if I don't want to. Now I have some corrugated cardboard, and this is a tea bag. I'm taking my wire brush and distressing it a little bit more. I love the frayed edges and also the texture of that corrugated cardboard. So I'm going to think about ways that I can add this in. Now I am going to just adhere that down to the page so that it stays for me and think about what I'm going to be adding next. I was going back and forth with if I wanted to add stitching on this page or what I wanted to add. But instead of stitching, I decided to just take out some thread and kind of wrap it around here. So you still get the essence of thread, which I love using whenever I can, but I'm not trying to go through that thick piece of the tag, which of course I do a lot of other times, but today I just wanted something kind of fast and put together quickly. So I'm going to be tying this together here. I just had two smaller or shorter pieces of thread and I wanted to use it up. I didn't want to waste it. And it would be easy to just take off a brand new piece and get it the length that you want. But I also find it interesting when you're tying these two together, you're going to end up seeing the knot, which is kind of like an unplanned thing then of it's one of those things that you don't necessarily plan, like I'm going to cut two shorter pieces and then tie it together. It's just what was laying out on my desk, and I wanted to make use of it. So now I am tying just a loose knot to end the wrapping around, and I'm going to leave it a little bit loopy so you get that nice look to it. And this whole thing is actually going to end up going in my daily journal. So last week, I also posted a video in my daily journal. So make sure to go check that out if you haven't already. It's a practice that I've been trying to do lately by adding something in. Of course, it doesn't always happen every day. And in fact, sometimes I go months in between times where I'm adding something to that journal. But lately, it's been one thing that I've been prioritizing for myself, and I love looking at it and just seeing the trends and what's happening. So you can go check out that video too if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to my channel to be notified of new videos and you can see when they come out so you can stay up to date. So I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. It was a really fast little one to make. It's from a base that would normally be thrown away, just a tag that came on my clothes, and really using pieces that are just on my art table already. So really fast, really easy and fun. You could also use these for like birthday gifts. You know, anytime you would use a tag, this would be a really fun option for you to use. For this one, as I said, it is going to go into my daily journal. So now I am figuring out how that's going to go in. And I decided to glue it down to another piece of paper and put it in that way. I did have a pocket on a page where I thought it would go in, but ended up, I wanted to really see all of that tag. So this ended up being a nice solution for me. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in now, and thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. It means the world to me, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.